Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Harlequin Murray, and welcome to Ellen Winn's Team Zoom. She is our illustrious leader, and super excited to be able to introduce you to her tonight. For those of you who have not been on one of our team Zooms before, welcome. We appreciate that you're here, and we're so excited that you've decided to join us. My name is Harlequin Murray. I am personally sponsored by Ellen. I'm also one of the team leaders on our team, and I get the honor of introducing Ellen for those of you who don't know anything about her. She is, oops, one second here, sorry. She and I have known each other for years, but she grew up in Dallas, Georgia, not Texas, on her family's farm, and grew up with all of the chickens and cows and horses and all those fun things. But once she grew up, she went and worked in the restaurant industry and worked there for many, many years. She worked her way up with Domino's Pizza. She was a regional training person as well as an area director. And she decided that, you know what, corporate life is not for me. And she left there and started her own pizza restaurants. So anyways, with that, she ran her own restaurant for a while. She started that, oh gosh, over 20 years ago, but she's been a business owner ever since. She currently runs her DAC business as well as a limousine service that she has. And she started about 19 years ago, I believe it is, in network marketing. That's where I met her. She was the national training director for a network marketing company that I joined. I was on her team, but she has a strong background and history of training and helping people. She has grown several businesses with thousands and thousands of people, and she's helped all of those people along the way. Within DAC, she's been in the company for about 4.5 years now, and she has reached the designation of an area director in David Allen Capital, as well as a one-star executive in longevity. But anyways, without further ado, I would like to introduce Miss Ellen Winn, and you can take it away, Ellen.
Hey, Harlequin, thank you so much. I appreciate that introduction, and always listening to that story. It always brings back memories of how we met and the fun ride that I've had over the years as an entrepreneur, as well as in the network marketing space. I'm gonna take a sip of water and get us off to our start. Again, Harlequin said, if this is the first time you've joined us on a team Zoom, welcome. We're excited that you're here. We do these Zooms every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and they're really here for you so that you have the latest updated information. It's an opportunity for you to ask questions at the end of the Zoom. So as we're going through information, if something pops up and you have a question, write it down, and we'll allow you to raise your hand and ask questions live at the end of the Zoom. This is also being recorded, as you can see, and I'll pop this up on my YouTube channel after it renders here with Zoom. So always a great opportunity to be here live if you can, so that you can ask questions. But if not, it's always available on the replay. So let me get us into screen share mode and get us kicked off like I always do in with our presentation. Actually, let me double check and make sure I've got that queued up to the first screen. And I do now. All right. So we're going to start off with DAC to the rescue. Man, oh man, is that ever more true now, or more true now than ever. We're in a prime phase of our growth and just launching a product that is so needed in the community, which I'm going to get into that in a little bit. And we'll go through some different examples of compensation other than what David covered today. If you missed today's DAC Zoom at 11:30 Eastern time, I'm going to send that out as a full replay as well, but I'm going to have a couple of little excerpts from that tonight. We're going to talk about some of the things that David discussed, and we're going to talk about your marketing strategy on how you can maximize the timing of this new product release and how you can maximize your income with this new product release. So without further ado, let me get us started in the slideshow here. Okay, and this is for the week of 10/10 through 10/16. We always go through recruiting. Our business model is a word of mouth marketing model. It's called network marketing. We have networks of friends, networks of families, network of business associates, and networking is a common term in the business arena today. There are lots of networking groups where you have the BNIs, you have Chamber of Commerce and local business community business functions. So networking is a common theme in building a business. And network marketing is networking with people that you know, with the ability to get word of mouth marketing out to people about a service or an opportunity. In the recruiting side of this, it's getting the word out about an opportunity. And if you look around today, millions of people are looking for ways to make money, especially working from home. Those that got spoiled with working from home during the pandemic and are being called back in by their employers, they're not happy if they're having to go back into the office. So us being able to provide them an income opportunity where they can make some significant income working from the comfort of home is a really big deal. So hats off to those of you that are on the leaderboard this week. In first place, we had a tie between myself and LaVonda Goodman with 4 recruits each. In second place, we had Eric Johnson with 3 new agent recruits. In third place, we had a 3, 6, 9-way tie, each with 2 new agents apiece. That's Sarah Barcelona, Michael Edmondson, Letha Goodman, Amina Mokhtari, Minister Ron Peterson, Latoya Porter, Dennis Robinson, Donald Walker, and Katina Willis. So congratulations for those of you that made the leaderboard. You had to have at least 2 recruits to be on the leaderboard by name. We had many that had 1 recruit. In fact, we had 34 people who had at least 1 new recruit for the week, and a total of 51 new agents joined the team. That's sliding down from where we were last week, and certainly not the direction that we need to be going in. But hopefully with today's launch, you'll see the value and the need to be sharing the word about the DAC opportunity. So hopefully we'll see our numbers spike for next week with the number of agents that we're bringing on board. All right, so one of the things that you want to take advantage of with recruiting right now is there's a recruiting incentive that goes through the end of the year, and that is you are auto-engaged on personally enrolled agents on their first 2 fundings. What does auto-engaged mean, and what does engaged mean? Well, if you're new, then you're probably still in the process of going through videos 1, 2, 3, the big green numbers at the top of the Agent Resource Center, where you've got your getting started right, you got our funding training, and video 3 talks about compensation plan. And the compensation plan is where you learn about being engaged and eligible to earn extra money on your own fundings and your own clients, and being able to earn on a team, and especially those that you personally enroll. So this promotion allows you to be auto-engaged on the first 2 fundings, no matter when your new agent gets that funding. Our standard compensation plan allows you to be engaged 5 different ways without this promotion. And that is, if you're new and in your first 60 days of the business, you're automatically engaged. If you have a new client of any type in the funding space, that makes you engaged. If you have 6 customer finance clients, that makes you engaged. If you have a new or a renewal client of our standard 6,000 or more in value, that makes you engaged. Or if you reach the level of DAC AD or above, that makes you engaged and eligible to earn on your entire team. So those are things you want to pay attention to, and really nothing should be holding you back from recruiting and building an agent team right now. So building a team and building customer base is what we're all about. In fact, in the recruiting side of this, we don't make any money recruiting new agents. It's the lifeblood of our business. So therefore we need to do it. We're always looking for new talent to help us get the word out in the marketplace. But what really brings money to the table is finding customers. And when we bring customers to David Allen Capital and can get them qualified for funding, or the new ERC program that I'm about to talk about, when they get funding through us, then that's when we get paid. And as a DAC agent, you want to get paid and get moving through the ranks, because as you move through the ranks from having 0 clients to DAC 1, here getting to DAC 1 means that you have to have at least 1 qualified funding with a total funded value of $10,000 or more. Sometimes it takes more than 1 client to get to DAC 1, because that funding value could be 6 or 7 or 8,000, and that would not get you over the $10,000 hump, right? But we have 2 promotions tonight that we want to recognize. Both of these got to DAC 1 with 1 client because the funded value was over $10,000 for each one. So congratulations to Nicholas Thomas with a $25,000 funding, and also congratulations to Sarah Barcelona with a $50,000 funding. So Harlequin, I believe you have a couple of folks that want to do testimonials on these that just got recognized. I don't know if you have the actual agent that got the funding or their enroller on, but I'm going to stop screen share and pass the mic over to you for a minute to take it from there.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm not seeing either one of them. However, we actually have Sarah's enroller on, who got a really nice surprise, and his name is Black. You can go ahead and unmute yourself and
Hello.
just kind of tell us a little bit about how you ended up getting this enroller bonus, and how you know Sarah and got her to sign up as an agent.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for having me on. I know Sarah through a company that we work with together, and I came across this platform. I was really excited, and I told her, you need to actually take a look at this. And we have this trust factor. And then she said, hey, anything that that you're engaged in, I want to also be involved in. So she signed up with me, and about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and we talked, and we brainstormed, and she just happened to share this opportunity, or actually the funding, with a client of hers. And just so happened, she was looking for funding at the time, and I think she has like 300 employees. So it was perfect. She applied for it online, and I think within a week, less than a week, she got funded. And
Awesome.
next thing I
She
knew,
actually just joined us. So
yes. And then next thing I knew, I was getting this email from David. It said, congratulations, your enrollee had signed up someone and got funded. And I saw my commission. I was like, wow, I didn't really do anything except sponsor her. And I mean, it's how easy it is. So thank you very much.
awesome. And it's great putting a face to the name. So looking forward to having you guys do quite a bit more with us, and just super excited. And
Yes,
thank you for bringing her on board.
Yeah,
yes.
I know we're going to bring Sarah on, but
Yeah.
let me see. You just said it was just that easy. You introduced a friend that you had a trusted relationship with. She got started with DAC. She did all the work and got the client, but you got a nice commission check just because you introduced her to DAC, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent, excellent. Guys, that's exactly why I'm talking about. You need to be recruiting. You never know who is going to take DAC and run with it and be earning a nice commission for themselves. And in return, because you're the one that introduces them, you could be earning some nice overrides as well. Okay, I'm going to pass it back to you, Harlequin. Thanks,
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So Sarah, I see that you are on here. If you can unmute yourself, Sarah Barcelona, um, would love to catch up
Hi.
with you. Hey there. But if you can, I know I didn't get a chance to talk to you, so congratulations on your first funding. That's awesome news. You're now a DAC 1, so that's phenomenal. You're going to get paid more commission on your next funding. But if you can kind of tell us, who your client is, what industry they're in, how you met them, what kind of money what they are planning on using that money for, and just kind of give us a picture of how it's going to help them grow their business. And I hear that they've got some other stuff that they're planning on doing after they get this money paid back. So if you could tell us a little bit about that.
So hi. Yeah, well, it's an honor to be here. I just woke up from a good nap. But yeah, thank you. And I'm so sorry. I woke up like this. But anyway, yeah, so this client of mine, she's a friend of mine, young entrepreneur. The nature of their business is they're doing the home health medical staffing. So it's a good, they are making really good revenue, which is three 300 300,000 a month revenue. So it's just so happened that she is my client in my other business, which is in financial. Little did I know I am the same person that is going to be a blessing for her, to help her, to address and give a solution on her problem during the time that she got short on her payroll. So she got short probably like a week of payroll money. And then she asked me, we both Filipino, she asked me, hey ate, can I borrow some money from you? She asked me. So she thought that I'm making like really good money. I'm like, girl, if I have that money, I'm not going to do this. But I said, but hey, I know that my business partner introduced me into this kind of a business. Maybe you can try this. I sent her a link, and then after that, I didn't know that she's gonna be serious in filling out the application, and then bam, she got approved for 50,000. And then she said that I will pay this like in 2 months. And she said her goal is to get a loan for 1 million. She knows that she can because of the revenue that she's making right now, which is, I was like, it was mind blowing. Like I told Mr. Am that I didn't even lift a finger, and then I woke up with a $1,500 in my relevant account. And it was really a blessing because during that time, um, my sister got a stroke back home, and I'm the breadwinner. So, I mean, it's just awesome. It's really, really a big help. You just don't know. But yeah, thank you, for introducing me to this business.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is awesome. Congratulations, Sarah. And I don't know if had a chance to talk to you about the or if you were on the Zoom earlier about the ERTC. And I understand that they have over 300 employees.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
might want to check with them to see if they've applied for ERC.
She doesn't know anything about it yet. I was trying to
Oh,
get
I
her.
saw the ERTC, and I have a client that going to do that. And then I have a lineup of people with me. Now I'm getting serious, like, oh my God, that's money, then let's do it. So yes.
Yeah.
So I did
Well,
I did
you
enroll.
Yeah, you actually you won't get 4%. You're going to get 4.4%. on your next.
Even if I get 1%, without a penny, there's no dollar. That's my mantra. And it's like, wow, if we get serious on this, we can help a lot of people. A lot.
All right, a correction on that, Harlequin. So she got amped up today. So on our funding, she earned 3% on this first funding, and her next funding, if it's in within 30 days, she'll make 6% plus that extra 10% override. So the funding would pay her 6.6% next
Wow.
time.
No,
Congratulations.
I was
Congratulations.
talking to her about the ERC that she would
Right,
get.
but only that ERC at 4.4 is only going to happen if she gets one that gets funded within that 30 days while she's amped. So she wants to keep bringing customers to the table. So let me point out a few things about Sarah's testimonial, which is just awesome. Now, Harlequin, maybe you can answer this. How long has Sarah been in the business?
Well, it's just months, right? I mean, I don't really give attention, it's just months, right? Brother
Yeah.
Am?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Is
it's been
it-
a month. Uh-huh.
It's been more than 30 days.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
the reason I ask is because we have a fast start enroller bonus that if you get if you enroll an agent and they get their first funding within their first 30 days, the enroller gets up to 100% match on that money. So it goes from a 25% match to 50% if you're amped, or if it's in the first 30 days, it goes 50% and then 100% match. So you earned at least $300+ on that override, didn't you?
That's correct, 350.
Awesome. Yep. Awesome. You got the 25% match. So congratulations to both of you. I love how DAC pays. And I love that both of you said how easy it was. All you did was have a conversation, sent somebody your link. She signed up as an agent. And then Sarah, you sent your link over to your friend. You really didn't know how serious she was, but she signed up, got funded, and then you got a surprise email. So that's really how easy this business can be. But guys, if you're listening, Sarah's telling a story about her friend who's doing $300,000 a month in revenue. And a lot of people would think that a business owner doing $300,000 in revenue has got it made and they're making a killing. Well, I come to you from business background and haven't been a traditional business owner. And the more they're making sometimes in those early years, the tighter the money is, because as much is coming in, that much is going out, or they're getting paid on a 30 or a 60-day cycle from their vendors. She's in healthcare, so she's probably getting some insurance payments, which tends to be a lag in payments too. So just to say that, don't ever not talk to a business owner because you don't think that they would qualify, or you don't think that they would need what we have to offer. Okay. Thank you both for your testimonials. I'm going to go back to our slides so you can see your name in shining lights there, Sarah. We had just covered that slide before you popped in from your nap. Nice that you could get a nap before you joined us tonight. All right. Let's talk about the ERC. This is the hot topic and the most exciting launch that I believe we have had since I've been a part of DAC. I joined the company in June of 2018, and I'm telling you, I'm more excited with this launch than anything we've ever done. And I want to take you through why. But first, let's talk about where you find your link. I've gotten the emails all day long, even after David sent out the email from corporate. I've gotten bombarded with emails from agents that aren't paying attention or aren't getting all the pieces of the puzzle. So I want to show you, this is your davidallencapital.com website. So if you go to davidallencapital.com, this is what the landing homepage looks like. And the employee tax credit is just a new link at the top of the page.
You're not screen sharing?
Oh, I'm not. Okay, thank you, Harlequin. Let me go back here and thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's kind of important right now because of what I'm talking about. It's the demonstration that drives the point home. Okay. Let me make sure I didn't miss one. Yeah, nope. ERC is live. This is our davidallencapital.com website. So if you go to, the homepage, you see that we now have a new tab at the top of the page. It's just added in. It says employee tax credits. Okay, so when you click on employee tax credits, the new page is going to come up, and the header of that page says employee retention credit up to $26,000 per employee. It's a simple and accurate process using licensed CPAs working on contingency. No upfront fees here. And even if a business got the PPP, they can still qualify for this, because initially when this program was rolled out, if a business qualified due to being hurt by COVID, they could choose the PPP or the ERC. Now it's been changed. The regulations have been changed. So it doesn't matter if they got PPP or not, they can still qualify for this if they have W-2 employees. Okay. So here's the key that I want to show you on knowing where your website is. When you click on that button or that tab on your website, it's going to bring up a link at the top. It's going to change the link, and it's going to say davidallencapital.com/tax credit. You must, let me repeat, you must enter your agent ID number at the end of that link, or when you send the link out, your name will not carry over. People get confused on this because when they click on it, any tab on their David Allen Capital site, they still see their name at the top of the page because of cookies and the way that our website works off of cookies. Cookies are bits of data that get dropped onto the browser, and it keeps your information on that page no matter where you're clicking. But once that link leaves your website, if it does not have, or leaves your browser, you copy and paste it and send it out to someone else, if you don't add your agent ID number to the end of that link, then your information is no longer attached. Remember, the cookies are on your browser, right? So if you send a link without your ID number, the next person that clicks on the link is just going to go to the corporate website. So you must add your agent ID number, where at the very end of the link, after the tax credit / just enter your ID number with no spaces. And also when you hit enter, that page is going to load in the browser. When it loads, it's going to add in additional characters of question mark, equal sign, REF code, or question mark, ref code equal, something like that. Those additional characters do not need to be in the link either. It just needs to be the clean davidallencapital.com / tax credit / your ID number. Okay. So once you get people over to that website, they're going to be able to go through, they're going to be able to read just about everything that they need to know about pre-qualifying for the ERC. David put a lot of information on there. In fact, just about everything that he covered today on our training on the slides is already listed on the website. So you just want to ask a couple of questions, 3 questions to your client. Say, hey, did you qualify for the ERC? Or the employee retention tax credit? Did you get that money back from the government? And if they say no, then you say, well, you do have W-2 employees, right? And if they say yes, say, now, are those family members, or are those employees that are outside of your family? Because it can't be immediate family, meaning your children, your spouse, or your parents. It can be other family members like your brother's kids or your brother, but it can't be a spouse, children, or parents. All right, that's
Okay,
according to the
Ellen,
IRS. So
I'm going to correct
if those
you on
things
that.
fit, yes, ma'am.
Siblings are also included.
Okay, sorry
Yeah.
about that. Didn't mean to put brother in there. Thank you,
Yeah.
Harlequin. All right, but ask those basic questions. We're going to have some scripts ready for you. David's going and tweaking and all that. But what I want to share with you tonight is there are other companies out there that are marketing this. I've been hit with several different companies that are trying to recruit me as an agent to market the ERC. And I want to assure you guys that we have the right team marketing this product. David Allen Capital has been in business for 7 years. And for my 4+ years here, I have learned that David Rutz, our company founder and president, is very cautious. He's an experienced businessman. He's an experienced marketer, and he's built 2 companies prior to DAC that are still alive today. One of those companies has gone on to become $1 billion company. So he knows what he's doing, and he has built DAC with caution, meaning he's very careful as to what he introduces to our product line. He's making sure that the product line that he offers through DAC agents is a product that is a value to the marketplace, is fairly priced and very competitive in the marketplace, and also provides a good profit margin to our agents. Because if he can't provide the good service to the community and the good service and income to the agents, he's not going to put it on the table. So when the ERC conversation came up, David talked to a lot of different people, and I want you to hear from him. I pulled this excerpt from today's video because I know a lot of you haven't seen it, and I want you to listen carefully. If you did hear it earlier, I think it'll behoove you to listen again, because what David says about the vetting process and who these guys are that we have partnered up with, which is a company called ERC Pros. You need to hear this, because people are going to ask what makes us different. And one of the things is the company behind the ERC program for us. So let's listen in to this video. Harlequin, make sure we've got good audio, okay, when this comes up. Just a second. I'm hitting the wrong button. There we go.
Few things. Number one, yeah, circumventing us.
It's very low.
People they know that we're launching, and they know hundreds of people. In fact, I sent an email out, and to 30,000 agents, right? So it's a lot of agents who know about our being ERCs now. They go to our website, they click on it, and of course they go, oh, Breezy ERC, who's that? And oh, they're with ERC Pros, who's that? Let's call them. And they're not taking individual organizations. And of course, they're going to notify us. We said, hey, if you have individuals, send them to us, and we'll put them in our tree of agents. And so that's what they're doing. Just like with Giggle, we got probably 50 people who tried to go around us to Giggle Direct, and Giggle didn't allow it. They told us who they are, and then it's embarrassing. And we just said, hey, by the way, remember, you can't circumvent us to go direct. The same thing's going to happen here. So number one, don't try contacting them direct, because the first thing they're going to do is check with us to find out. And of course, it's not allowable, number one. Number two, the ERC pros, the reason we chose them is what I said. They've got a team built. So I met them through one of our funding partners, Bank Breezy. Bank Breezy met them through one of their funding partners who does business funding, thousands of clients a month. And they were talking about ERCs, and they said, we're using this company called ERC Pros. So Bank Breezy started looking at them. I've been talking to companies. Heck, we have people in our business who are CPAs. I reached out to my own CPA. We've been talking about trying to create this, right? And so Bank Breezy just happened to stumble on it. I talked to one of their funding partners. They said, yeah, we're sending them over 1,000 clients, 1,000 new credits a month right now. We're doing with them as a funding partner, and they're amazing. They can handle any workloads. They got licensed CPAs and tax firms doing it. So that says a whole lot right there when you got a funding company saying we're using these guys and we're sending all of our clients that we've helped fund over the last several years to this one company. And there's many. So that meant a lot to Bank Breezy, which meant a lot to me. And here I'm trying to put it all together. I'm talking to different companies, probably some of them that many of you have mentioned. I hear retainers, I hear percentages. They go, yeah, I know who they're with. Yep, I know who that is. Yep, I know who that is. Because there's not a lot of them, but there's enough of them in our space that I know some of them, let's just say. But so it was really based on the review of a major funder who over 1,000 credits a month, 1,000 clients a month, I should say. I don't know how many credits they're endorsing. That's significant. So I figured, okay, they can handle the workload. Now I'm going to talk to the people, the powers to be. So I started talking to them. And when you're talking to people, you ask certain, at least me, I ask certain questions about, hey, is there any way we can do this or that? Can we do this? And when you find out the heart of the people, that what they're really in this for, one of the guys I talked to used to own the largest Dish TV or Direct TV distributors in North America. He goes, I built it by having relationships with agents. And you cannot do them wrong, or you won't be the biggest anymore. that we don't do you guys wrong, because we know you'll stop representing us like this. And we're not here just to do credits. We're here to do all kinds of things. And we understand that the front line, you guys are on the front line. You talk to the friends, family, dining restaurants you go into. You can't be doing that, putting someone in a bad situation by getting them a credit they're not entitled to, which is going to kill them in the audit. And so just hearing different things, I said, okay, first of all, they're getting the numbers they need to get. Every question I ask, they're answering with integrity. We're actually offered more money by others, frankly. So as I looked around and started thinking, am I willing to take a haircut on what we earn to be with this right company? We chose to go with the right company. They got a certain minimum they need to make, and they're not willing to go below that because they're paying top-notch people to do top-notch things with integrity. So that was why we chose them. It was Bank Breezy choosing them, frankly, but Bank Breezy respects us enough to know to say, can you vet them out, make sure you're comfortable with them. It's just because we launch them doesn't mean you'll launch them. Just because Bank Breezy has them doesn't mean we're going to promote it. So I wanted to talk with them directly as well, and I spent a lot of time on the phone with the owners, and I feel very comfortable with it. So that's the main reason.
Thank you for sharing that, David. And you nailed it. I mean, that is why I'm partnered with DAC Capital, with you as our CEO. And that's why when these other companies were pitching me on the ERC and the opportunity to go make some big money out here, it didn't resonate with me because my name, my reputation is on the line when I talk to friends and family and all the business owners that I've connected with through my local chamber of commerce. I needed to know that if I'm going to open my mouth about this program, that I'm putting them into a reputable and good situation that's going to have them taken care of and got their back on the back end. So thank you for giving that explanation. I know all of that because I know how you are, but I wanted you to speak that to all the agents here tonight or today. So thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. And by the way, that's not to say that every other company in this space is cutting corners and getting credits they shouldn't get. I should be very careful. There's a lot of, we talked to some great CPA firms who are like, yeah, we can do it and we're going to do it right, but we got to charge a retainer, Dave. We can't do this without having that required upfront, or we can't do it at 20 points. We just can't. We're not going to charge a retainer. We got to be up to the 30, 35%. I mean, you're going to get some credits. It's only $7,000. We're going to spend 4 days on it, and the credit's $7,000. At the 30%, that's only $2,100. We lost money on that. You can imagine being a CPA firm. These are the things I'm hearing. So the good news is, with the RC pros, they know the numbers. They've got enough volume coming in. They can work off the law of averages, the law of large numbers. You can say, okay, so we're going to lose money on a lot of these clients because we're paying a commission and we're putting a lot of hours into this. And a $10,000 deal, we're getting $2,000, and maybe we spent $5,000 on CPA hours. But we're going to do it on this one. Just the same way, there's times when DAC pays out more than we earn. Bank freeze out of the funding. So if we just what we pay out on paper is more than we get. And there's sometimes we actually have to pay it. But as a percentage, we're lower than what we earn, because of breakage, people not qualified for certain rates and different things. So, and we've done this long enough, we know what the percentage that's going to be, and we're pretty much spot on with it. And the same thing here. If you add up everything we're paying out in this ERC program, it's more than we're getting. But there's breakage, and there's times most times we don't pay out the maximum, right? We pay out the 4 plus the 2. If they're amped up, that's 6 points. And we pay out the DAC 1, DAC 2, DAC 3, 4, RVP, and all that. You start adding all that up. And the second level DAC 1, DAC 4, DAC R, you add all that up, it's a lot more than we're getting. But it's not a risk because how many people are not amped up when they're enrolling against a client? So that didn't cost us 2%, it was only 1%, right? And how many are RVP and second level RVP. So just know that, we've talked to a lot of people and they can't operate on law of large numbers if they don't have them yet. And you can't take a bunch of $10,000 credits and only get a fee of $2,000. You can't because you don't have enough $150,000 credits coming in to warrant it, right? But ERC Pros does. So that's why they can operate the way they operate. We're excited about it.
All right, let me get out of that. I'm going to stop screen share for a second to get back over to the right screen. There we go. All right, guys, I heard someone say that it was kind of low. Hopefully you could hear that because I really wanted you to hear from our CEO, from his heart. And again, that's why I'm here with DAC, because I know the integrity of our company and our leadership. And I know that you putting in time and energy and effort, bringing customers to the table here, you're building a business that's going to be here for years and years to come. And that is not going to change because DAC is building, David is building DAC for the long haul. All right, let me get over to the next slide. There we go. Now let's talk about the bonuses real quick. And these first 3 slides, David covered these today, but I've got some additional slides here to kind of go through the numbers with you. So we were talking about the bonuses when Sarah was doing her testimonial earlier on the funding bonuses, where on funding, you earn 3% standard commission up to 6% if you're AMP. Well, with the ERC bonuses, that's going to pay you 4% commission and up to 2% more as you move through rank advances and being able to earn overrides on your own commission. And what is that 4% of? Well, it's 4% of the actual credit. So let's say that you have a company that has 1 employee, as an example, with only a $10,000 credit. They're all eligible up to $26,000. But in this example, we're showing 1 employee company with a $10,000 credit. 4% of the credit equals $400. If you're qualified higher ranks and eligible for that 6%, up to 6%, you could earn up to $600 on that 1 client. And you're going to get paid the day after DAC does. So the sales process on this is going to be a little while. It may take you a couple or 3 months to start generating the revenue off of this, because once someone goes in and applies, it's going to take within a couple of weeks for them to be able to get everything together, get it over, submitted over to the IRS. And then once it goes over to the IRS, it's in their hands to get the check back to the business owner. But as soon as the business owner gets the refund back, then they're going to pay 20% of that, which is our contingency fee. They're going to pay that over to ERC Pros. And once they have gotten paid, then DAC is going to get paid. There's a 10-day hold on that. I believe it was 10, maybe 7 days, but I think David said 10-day hold on that, so that they know that the funds are there and that money doesn't bounce or the check doesn't bounce. Once they've gotten the funds, then they're going to pay DAC the next day, and then we get paid that same afternoon from DAC. So once you start the floodgates with this and can work through getting regular fundings that pay us daily, as we were sharing earlier, as you're building the client base for ERC, then you're going to have the opportunity to have some massive checks coming in from that. So let's take a look at another example. Let's say we've got a $400,000 credit on a company with 16 employees, and that's just a number, okay? 4% of 400,000, the credit would be $16,000 commission to you. If you're earning that additional money, it could pay you all the way up to $24,000 for that same account. And then an even larger account, a $1.5 million credit with just 60 employees. And we put the employee numbers there to get you to think, because it doesn't take a massive company for you to be able to have a massive commission check off of this. So this 60 employee company getting a $1.5 million credit at 4% would be $60,000 commission to you. At 6% would be $90,000 commission to you. All right. Now, that is the personal commission. What David didn't cover today, other than saying you could match it, was the ERC matching bonuses. And I wanted to do this slide so you can see it, because seeing is believing in my opinion, right? So let's say that there's a $200,000 credit out there at 4%. The person that brought the client to the table would earn $8,000 on that credit, right? If you are the enroller, as we gave the example of over Sarah being the enroller earlier, a 25% match on that $8,000 credit would be a $2,000 check to you, the enroller, for the agent that brought in the $200,000 credit business, and they earned $8,000, right? So your frontline agent earns $8,000, you get a 25% match for $2,000. But if you're amped up, like Sarah is now, since she just hit DAC 1, with a new customer over $6,000, then Amped Up would give double commission. So in this same example with 200,000 times 4%, 8,000 to the agent that brought the client to the table. Now you as the enroller would get a 50% match if you're amped, meaning you'd get $4,000 match instead of the 2,025% match. So guys, there's a lot of money there. What if you were getting the match on that $60,000 or $90,000 client? Can you imagine opening your email and you're saying, congratulations, you have a revenue share override on someone in your team. It's a $45,000 override match. Can you imagine what kind of life-changing income that could be when you start getting those types of commission checks? It's happening, and the opportunity is there for you. So I just wanted to share that with you. Now, remind you that another thing that makes DAC a unique selling proposition, not only to the client, but I think on the business opportunity side, is that when we're talking to business owners about the ERC program, whether they qualified for it or not, it always is an opportunity to walk them through the process to apply and ask them, say, well, hey, if you ever are in a position where you need quick working capital, funding is our flagship product. And we can talk to them about our small business capital, our customer finance, our payment processing, and healthcare product. And oh, by the way, we can help protect that business owner from identity theft with our DAC Protect. In this line of services, guys, there are many more on the way. If y'all only knew what I know that's coming in the background, some of the things David has talked about. He's talked about a legal program that's on its way on a contingency basis where attorneys will take cases on and there'll be a contingency fee on the back end, and we get paid a percentage of the contingency fee that they collect. Can you imagine how big those checks are going to be? It's going to be crazy off the charts. And all of this is provided to you with a free opportunity from David Allen Capital. I love what we have to offer, but I mentioned earlier that we have several companies that are in the ERC space. In fact, I've had several agents in the team sending me stuff about the greatest opportunity out there and so on. Let me remind you, if you are a DAC agent, you can have your agency terminated if you're trying to cross-recruit people into another deal. Now, I've not reported any of you that have sent me anything. I've just replied with the rebuttal of why you need to be doing DAC instead of trying to market with this other ERC program. But just a reminder, that's the deal. When you're in DAC, you cannot be trying to cross-recruit people from your downline into another opportunity, especially another ERC program. But I want to point this out because as you're being prospected, or many of you may already be involved with another company that's promoting the ERC, you need to understand our compensation plan and understand the unique selling points of our CPA firm and the other products that we offer, so that we're not just a one-hit wonder marketing the ERC and the company's going to be gone after the ERC program is over. Many companies won't be around because they have started doing the network marketing model just because the ERC was out there. David Allen Capital is different from that. But I want to go through some of the competitors, a couple of examples. The first introduction that I had to the ERC, it really caught my attention and was intriguing, but it didn't sit right with me that I was going to have to charge an upfront fee to a client. Okay, they were asking $2,600 upfront fee. I talked to the firm and everything sounded on the up and up, but I just couldn't see myself going and talking to my local community and saying, hey, we can probably get this back, but to get the process started, you need to write us a check for $2,600. Just didn't sit well with me because I've been working with David Allen Capital for so long where we don't charge for anything. We do the work and we get paid only after we provide a service to the customer, right? So some companies are charging that upfront fee and they're doing different things to entice agents to come on board, but I haven't seen a compensation plan that compares to what DAC offers. I want to give you an example here. I was introduced to a company yesterday. I watched the business presentation, and this particular company that I watched the slideshow on is charging a 25% contingency fee to the customer. They don't have an upfront fee, just like DAC, but instead of charging 20% like we do, they charge 25% to the customer. And their reps are getting paid 10% of the 25%, which when you do the math, that equates to 2.5% of the refunded amount. Remember, we just went through the compensation plan, and I'll show you the numbers in a second, but they actually show an example of a $500,000 refund to the employer and the referring agent earning $12,500, the 2.5%, right? But with DAC and that same $500,000 refund, the referring agent would earn $20,000 to $30,000, right? Because we're paying 4% minimum, not the 2.5. So don't get caught up in the percentages, because the percentages can really fool you, right? I'm a numbers girl, and I like to just put it on paper, take, okay, what's this percent of this? And I extrapolate the numbers to come out with what the real percentage is. So this all sounded good, that you're getting 25% of the 25%, but it's 2.5% of the whole refund, right? And remember, this other company is also going to offer a 50% check match on their recruits, but DAC offers up to 50% match plus team overrides. And if you think about it, with all these other opportunities out there, if you're going to be spending time marketing the ERC platform, doesn't it make sense to get the biggest return on your time? The biggest return money-wise, and also knowing that the company is going to be there for years and years to come, and that we have layers of other services that are going to be added on top to what we already have right now. So that ends my slideshow. Harlequin, do you mind sharing a testimonial that you shared with me today from an agent in our organization that was talking to you about the ERC and had a big client with what, 400 people? You want to go through those numbers with these guys today? Of course, not mentioning any names.
Yeah, not mentioning any names. And I think it was the same company that you were just talking about. And they had, it was, I think, 415 employees. And they got an average of $16,440 per employee, which was $6,822,600.
$6,822,000 refund to the business, right?
To the business.
And what would that equate to at 4% for the DAC agent?
At 4%, it would be $272,904.
That's the referral commission that agent would make if that deal were done through the DAC ERC program, right?
Yes.
What are
Except
they earning
that
through that
agent,
other company?
a whole lot less. And that agent also happens to be a DAC 4.
Oh, wow. So that DAC 4 would earn 5.2% of that, right?
Right.
So 6,822,000 was the refund
Yeah, I think so.
times, oh wait. One
So
more zero.
it would be over $350,000.
Oh my gosh. Life changing. I mean, that buys you a house,
Yeah.
a small house in this economy, but that buys you a house. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And the other company was paying way less than half on that, right?
Yeah, that person will get about half, because the client has already received their refund.
Wow.
And they're in that 10-day period.
Yeah. Well, we shared the story, and back to what David was saying, listen, there are a lot of good companies out there. There are. And even though they may be a good company, you need to be comparing apples to apples and looking at the whole compensation, again, looking at who's behind it, the company that's marketing it, and how long the company has been around. And I really just think from the heart that DAC is going to win the race in the long run, because we're going to be here for years and years to come. We're going to create multi-millionaires inside of this organization just because of this one single product launch. So I ask you tonight, do you want to be on board with that? Do you want to be one of the ones that is becoming a millionaire and $1 million income earner with DAC because you are promoting the ERC program, you're promoting it the right way, and you're bringing on a team of the right people? It's all doable. With that said, I want to share with you guys some of the things that I've done today, and then Harlequin, I'll let you share as well, and then we'll go to questions. But I've been on the phone since we launched this Saturday. I started making some phone calls yesterday, and I've been making phone calls today. I've been sending out text messages and reaching out to people by Facebook. But here's what I'm doing. I've reached out to a few people that are business owners, asking them, did they receive that employee retention credit from the IRS? One of them has a several hundred employee group, and he said, I think he's not hands-on with his company anymore. He's retired, but he said, I think we did, or I'm sure we probably did, because our accountant firm, if they thought we would qualify, they would have recommended it. So I told him that we would be glad to help him if he would check into it to confirm that they did or did not. And if they did not, that we had the right team that would be able to help him. So he's checking into that. Another person that I reached out to, my insurance agent, he has one employee in his office, and that employee has been there during the time frame that they're eligible, from fourth quarter of 2020 through 1 through 3 quarters of 2021. We talked to him, I asked him about it. He didn't even know what the ERC program is, right? And I asked him about the employee, and he said, wait a minute, yeah, I think he has been here. He said, my wife does the books. He said, I'll have to ask her. And I said, well, let's see if we can get you qualified for it, because there could be up to $26,000 in free money that would come back to your company if you do qualify. And he goes, 26 grand? And I'm going, yeah. I said, there's a contingency fee. Our CPA firm will get 20% of that in the end if they get you qualified for it. But he started doing the math, and he said, heck, I don't care how much it is that I get back. I'm willing to give them 20% to find money that I didn't even know existed, right? So they're in process of applying. But the other calls that I've been making are calling people in my organization. I've reached out to several of my frontline agents that I haven't talked to in a long time, that aren't active with DAC. And I've reached out just to make sure that they're seeing the communication. And every one of them had no idea about the ERC, because they're not opening communication from David Allen Capital anymore. They're on to their next project and so on, or back to their traditional job. So I've been making contact with my frontline people. Hey, did you hear DAC has just launched the employee retention credit? Do you know what that is? And I asked that question because we use, in our business, we tend to use acronyms and words that people don't understand, but they'll just kind of let it glaze over if you don't explain it. So ask them, do you know what the employee retention credit is, or have you heard of it? Most of them are going to say no, because it's one of those convoluted tax deals that came through with COVID. And most people, if it didn't affect them individually, they weren't aware of it. Or if it did and they weren't aware of it, they still don't know because they didn't get the money. So it's up to us to educate folks. The other calls that I've been making are going through my Facebook group, right? I'm going through people on Facebook, and I'm looking at posts that I'm making and looking at who likes that post. Because you know, when you post something on social media, you may have 150 people that like the post, but don't actually engage with comments. Well, don't just look at who's commenting, because that's a small percentage of the people that actually see your post. Go in and look at who liked the post, or who put a heart or a care on it, who made a comment on your post, not a comment, but just liked it, right? Go in and look at that list of people. And here's what I suggest that you do. Let's say that you post the link about the employee retention credit, right? And you start going down the list. Send those people messages, because they're your friends, and you can send them a message and start a conversation. Say, hey, thanks for liking my post about the ERC. Have you heard of this program before? And ask them a question and let them answer, right? But get a conversation started with at least 5 people a day that comment on a post that you've made about the ERC. And you'll see your numbers start blowing up because you get that conversation started. They may not be the business owner, but they either work for a business owner or they have friends or spouses or family members that work for a business owner that probably could use an extra $26,000 per employee, but they have no idea that this money is out there, or they have no idea how to go for it, or they've been told by an accountant or a CPA or a bookkeeper that really doesn't know all the intricacies of the tax code involved around this, that they don't qualify or they're not sure how it works. So they just let it go because it's too confusing. So I encourage you to really start taking massive action on a daily basis, because lots of people are starting to have conversations about the ERC. Why? Because there are some really big commission checks coming back to those people that are working it. And when people start making big money, everybody wants to get on board. But those of you that said you want to be one of the millionaires here with DAC, it's only going to happen if you get out there and you take all out massive action talking to people about the ERC platform. So I know you've got it in you. I know it's in your heart that you want it. And sometimes the part of us that stops us is right here between our ears, because we start thinking that negative thinking that I can't do this, or some people are going to think that they're not worthy of making that kind of money. But I promise you, you are worthy, you are worth it, and you can do this if you put your mind to it. If you get in a position where you don't know what you're doing, or you're afraid to talk to someone, reach out to your upline enroller or reach out to me. Every one of you on here tonight have my email and have my cell phone number, which is in my signature in every email that I send out. I'm here to help you succeed if you really want this. So Harlequin, you have some stories you want to share before we go to questions?
Yeah,
Me?
sorry,
are.
my mouse froze for a second there. Yeah, a couple of stories. And also something, a way to introduce this to business owners, because the rules changed on how you could qualify and that type of thing. And rather than going and saying, oh, hey, have you received it? Ask them, have you heard that they've changed the rules on qualifying for ERC? Because a lot of people have been told no in the past, because it used to be that if you got PPP, you were no longer eligible for it. The other thing is, especially for those larger companies, it used to be that it was only for employers that had up to 100 employees. So those businesses that had 100 to 500 employees were not eligible at all. And David's trying to get some clarification on the upper limit as far as how many employees they can have before they can apply. So we'll get back to you on that. But keep an eye out on the training that David does on that. But when you approach these businesses, let them know, hey, the rules changed, so you might be eligible now. The other thing is that I was talking to one of my team members who is a CPA, and she does taxes for people, and she is currently doing the paperwork herself for her clients. But because it takes so much time to do it, she is having to charge them up front for doing that processing. And she said she's got a lot of people who they don't have the money to pay her to do that processing. So that's, so she was like, I'm going to go to all of those clients who said, no, I can't, I don't have the money. And she's going to have them go through the DAC process to apply for it. And I've heard that from some CPAs. Some are going and they're sending they're just telling their clients, nope, sorry, I don't have enough manpower to do this. So they're not giving them an option. I spoke to my insurance agent today. He happened to call me about I'm setting something up with them. And he was like, well, I said, your bookkeeper may not have the available manpower to process the application on this. And he's like, I don't care. I'm going to have them do it anyways. And I was like, okay, well, just in case they don't want to do it or they don't have the manpower to do it, I give you my permission to give them my phone number. I would love to talk to them. So, anyways, you're going to run into that. But CPAs, bookkeepers, tax professionals, those are phenomenal people to talk to about offering this service to their clients. And I mean, just, yeah. And one of my agents he's actually on here, I was like, well, why don't you call up this client? And he's like, okay, well, he's probably heard about it. And he hadn't, and he's got a bunch of employees. And he's like, okay, I got that one. Okay, I'm going to call another one. So, it's just a matter of letting people know, that it's available. I talked to one of my clients who had gotten a big funding from DAC. And he was like, oh, we've already gotten it, already took care of that. And I was like, okay, great. I just wanted to let you know that it's out there if you weren't aware of it. So, and he was grateful. He's like, thanks for letting me know, because, if I hadn't have known, I would have been really upset with you if you hadn't told me. So anyways, but everybody's super excited about it. And I've been calling my team and still calling.
Yeah. So, the people that I reached out to today were folks that I knew when I called them that they would already know what this program was, and they didn't have a clue. 3 of the people that I talked to did not have a clue. And all 3 of them are astute business people. One of them is in a real estate and financial space. One of them is a entrepreneur. One of them did tell me that a lady had just contacted him the day before wanting to come meet with him to talk about the ERC as an opportunity. So I told him that DAC was launching it. He's already part of DAC. And he said, well, it makes sense. If I'm already a part of DAC and I already have a team growing there, that I would market the ERC that you guys are doing. And I'm going, absolutely. So, and the business owner that I talked to that had 1 employee, this guy is a $1 million earner in the network marketing space. And he has not heard of the ERC because he's kind of been removed from the ERC, from network marketing for a little while. So these folks that are beating down networkers' doors trying to pitch them on an ERC opportunity hadn't gotten to him. So I'm very confident that you guys every one of you know 50 people that have not heard of the ERC that can lead you to a business that can use the ERC and start putting some big money in your pocket. So let's go to some questions here. I see Bobby Knight with a hand up. Bobby, I'm going to ask you to unmute. What do you have for us tonight?
Hey, thanks, Ellen. You're one of the best trainers I ever seen in my life. You're an alcoholic, and I want to thank you for inviting us just to be part of your team here. And Ellen, I just want to ask some questions about, this is one of the best things that I have ever seen that came. I never even know anything about this. And I do think that some really big incomes can be earned from this, Ellen. So I want to thank you and Holligan so much for just being here to share this information. We really want to work with this so bad. So thank you so much, Ellen, and you, Holligan, also.
I appreciate that. We appreciate those kind words. And it's always nice to know that what we do is appreciated. So thank you, Bobby. All right. I see Shelton with a hand up.
Hello, how you doing tonight, Ellen?
Good, Shelton. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Man, I can see you're working behind the scenes there and you're getting your plan in action. And I know you're going to be one of those $1 million earners here with this.
That's my goal. That's my goal.
Yep.
I actually wanted to make a quick statement just to help everybody, if that's okay. One example is I know of a business owner that he got one of the PPP loans, and he turned and told me that he was denied the thing, and then we were told about how they've changed the rules. So I'm actually going back to him and actually re-educating him. He may still go through his own CPA. That's fine. I'm here to see him get that ability to have access to it. But also don't forget about the franchises. The ones that are owned, they pay for their franchise license and all that. You think about all the different ones that are out there that those owners may not know about it. And think about how many of them, I know one franchise owner in Alaska that owns 2 McDonald's. I know him personally. I used to work for him. So he's one of the people I'm gonna be reaching out, and he owns 2 McDonald's. So just some examples to think about. Don't think only big, think small too.
Excellent. I see in the chat, someone asked if nonprofits could apply for this. Yes, if they meet the employee qualification, they can certainly apply. One that cannot apply is a government agency. So if you know city or county folks, they're not eligible according to what we learned today. All right. Thank you, Shelton. Appreciate that input. Was that all you had? Yep, your hand's down. Okay, I'm going to ask Sergio to unmute. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, Helen, can you hear me?
I can. How
All
are
right,
you?
good deal. Good deal. How are you?
Good.
Hey, listen, a quick question on the promotion special or promotion that's going on for enrolling people. Did you say that, so if I enroll somebody, right, that automatically gets me engaged?
You're engaged. Anyone that you recruit between now and the end of the year, you're automatically engaged on their first 2 fundings. Whether you're actually engaged according to the compensation plan or not, by having your own clients, you're engaged and eligible to earn your 25% matching bonus on them.
But that doesn't count towards me becoming a DAC 1 or me becoming or getting amped up even, right?
Nope. For you to get to DAC 1, for you to be amped, you have to have clients, right?
Okay.
To move through the compensation plan.
Okay.
Part of the comp plan is that you have to have clients to be engaged and eligible to earn on your frontline enrollees and anybody that they bring into the team. But this recruiting incentive waives that so that, you're auto engaged your first 60 days. You've kind of got a grace period that you don't have to get clients and you can still recruit agents and get paid on them. But this auto engage says, okay, if you're outside of your 60-day auto engaged window and one of your new agents gets a funding and you haven't had a client, we're still going to pay you on their first 2 fundings, whether they get it within their first 30 days, their first 6 months, or their first 2 years. Whenever they get their first 2 fundings, you will get paid whether you're engaged according to the top plan or not. But it doesn't have anything to do with you getting through the ranks or getting qualified to earn more on your personal fundings.
Okay, and then also as far as enrolling family members, you can enroll family members right into the business?
You can, absolutely. You certainly can. Hey, and with you coming up here, that reminds me one other thing that I wanted to say on the ERC. David mentioned this today, that they have Spanish speaking support.
I
So
heard that.
our funding products, none of our funding products do we have Spanish support material for. We just don't. All of the funding companies require that whoever applies has to be able to read and write English. But with this being a government-based platform, they do have Spanish support. So those of you that are in a Hispanic or Latino community and have a lot of Spanish-speaking business owners, this is a huge opportunity for you to go help them get plugged into some money out there that they probably don't know exists.
Okay, that's it. That's all I had. you.
Excellent. Thanks for your question. And Clark, I'm going to ask you to unmute. What do you have for us tonight? Can you unmute?
Yeah, I was
There we go.
clicking.
Oh,
through
it's Melody Clark.
Yes, yes. I don't know why it says Clark, but all of my Zooms that I get on, and I don't know how to change that. So, you know, but anyhow, it's
Yeah,
just.
I'll tell you real quick. Let me tell you how to change that. So where you see your name on the screen there, I see myself. If I go down to participants and I click on that, I see my name and my picture. Over to the right of that, there are 3 little dots. When you click on those 3 little dots, you have the ability to rename yourself. It opens up a little window. And when you
Okay.
click on rename, you can type in whatever you want your name to be displayed as. That way, David will remember who you are and not have to ask. I saw you posted that after you had already
Right,
been.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I can't get my screen to work right now, but anyhow, couple things. Number one, and you were just talking, and this just popped in my head because you guys are talking about Spanish speaking. Can we get, like I noticed today when I did click on the DAC site that's mine for the ERTC, you know, it's just English and that, but there is a spot where you can click on Spanish. Is there one that you can, is it possible to just get a straight up front Spanish one? You know, if we send it to our Spanish restaurants and stuff like that versus.
That would be a question for David on our next.
Okay. Okay, next question is probably for David as well. Is that, okay, so I was telling him, you know, I preferred not to have the upfront fee because there's places that are even, you know, looking to close soon because they don't have their funding. Is it possible that if they get accepted for the ERTC to get a loan against that?
We're not doing loans against what they have coming. We did ask that question. Somebody had asked that already and he answered it. David has looked into that as a possibility, but at this time we don't have a company that would do that. However, if they meet the revenue requirements, they could certainly apply for our existing funding platform.
Right. Well, I don't know what it is, but I just know that she's like, you know, we're on the verge of closing our doors, so this money's going to help us. But then in the company, you know, like I said, I've been doing this ERTC with other people, and they said it could take, you know, 4 to 6 months for them to, you know, see any kind of check back or whatever. So, you know, like I said, 4 to 6 months out. And if I'm hurting now, you know, how's that, you know, I'm just curious.
Yeah. You know, it's like the PPP and the EIDL, when those programs were launched, I personally qualified for both of those. I got round 1 and round 2 of the PPP because my business, my limousine business, was impacted by COVID. So I was able to get those programs. And then when the EIDL came out, I applied for that and I was able to get a large sum of money on that EIDL program. But as I talked to other people in the business community and asked them about the PPP and different things, most people were very much in the dark on how they worked. So it's money that needs to be spread around and we need to get it into their hands. But yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying, that you know, it may not come fast enough, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But at least it's there. And if they
Right.
if they do end up having to close their doors, at least the possibility of them getting the money is there. But what I was saying about the PPP and the EIDL, you're at the mercy of the government. No matter how quickly we get the money or get the application in and all the documents in, part of it's going to be depending on your client that applies, being quick to get all the documents that are required into the CPA team. And then once they submit that, then it's at the mercy of the IRS getting that refund back out. So hopefully it'll be a quick turnaround, but more and more people are learning about it. So who knows how long.
Okay, and also too, this is just a technical question. It's been a while since I've done DAC, and so I can go to the agent website, but then there's another website where I can check my team and stuff like that. It's the longevity website or however that is, you know, I'm talking about. It's a back
Yeah.
office. How do I get to that?
Yeah, so everything is connected through davidallencapital.com. So to get to the back office, you want to go to davidallencapital.com, scroll down to the very bottom of the page. At the footer, you'll see resources. There's a link over to the Agent Resource Center. Once you get there, then near the bottom left of the page is the DAC YGY back office login. Click on that link. It'll take you over to where you're going to use your agent ID number and
Okay.
the password you created to log in. And then once
Okay.
you're in there, you'll need to hit the genealogy report to see your team. If you're looking for volume to see if anybody has fundings or clients, then you'll need to click on volume report, which is there on the dashboard. But you're not going to see any volume from this until a funding has taken place. Same way with our fundings now. We don't see volume posted until the client has received their money and David Allen Capital has been paid. Once they've been paid and they're making that payment out to the agents, then that volume gets posted into the back office.
Okay, so I lost you at, okay, so I go to David Allen Capital and then down to the bottom, go to the bottom to resources, then,
Yeah, in the Agent Resource Center, the link
Right.
there. And over at the Agent Resource Center in the bottom left corner, you'll see a back office login. And I have on my Vimeo channel, I have a back office tour that will help you with that login process and where to navigate and where to find everything. The way to get to my Vimeo channel is just go to Vimeo, vimeo.ellenwinn.link. It'll take you straight over to my Vimeo channel, and there I have showcases set up. And in the showcase that has agent training videos, just scroll down, it's probably the 4th or 5th video in that series, and it'll say longevity DAC back office tour.
okay. Yeah, I got to do that because I have a few agents that I would like to contact, see what they're doing and see that they know about this and are getting on it or whatever. So,
Yeah. And thank you for saying that, Melody, because, I'm talking about how I'm reaching out to agents. Harlequin's talking about reaching out to agents. And each and every one of you, if you have an agent team, you need to be reaching out to your own agent network. I personally have over 12,000 agents in my group, so I can't reach out to everyone for you. I reach out by email in masses. I reach out via my text platform, and I reach out through this form of coming live on Zooms. But it's up to each of you to try to reach out individually to your own team there to communicate what we've just launched here. So thank you for saying that, Melody. Did you have another question?
I did, but it just kind of shot out of my head. So I appreciate your time and everything. And, so if we want to do new recruits, that, I forget, we just send them that special, we send them a link or something, don't we?
Yep, same thing. You're going to go to davidallencapital.com, scroll down to the bottom of the page. Under that resources tab in the footer, there is a partner with us link. When you
Okay.
click on that, that opens up the recruiting page with a short 3-minute video and then a longer video that takes through the full business presentation. When you click on that, you just need to make sure that you add your agent ID number to the end of that link, so that
Okay.
you're getting credit. If you send out a link and your name's not automatically populated in the form when they click on apply or get qualified or join us now button, then you didn't send out the right link.
Okay. And so then the ERTC stuff will be there as well, correct?
It is. It's at the top of your page. It is.
Right.
There's
It says
a new
employee
webpage
tax
on the
credits.
David
Okay.
Allen Capital site.
Right. Yeah. I just seen that. So, okay, great. Well, thanks for all your help and
bet.
hopefully, I wish I would have done, guys had started this and I knew about it, with you guys about 2 months ago, because like I said, I have some, 1 or 2 fundings, and as I have about 4 or 5 people, getting their information checked or getting their papers back in, and getting started or whatever. So,
Sure.
you know, I
Well,
really wish we'd have
The
done
good
it.
news is we didn't know about it 2 months ago. 'cause
Right, yeah.
David was doing the work, but we just learned about it 10 days ago, 10, 12 days ago now. I have talked to a couple of people on my team that have been working with another company and had already had some clients queued up and ready to submit through another company, but they have switched channels with their client and said, hey, I have found a better company to do this for you, and they're bringing them through.
Right. And I have 2 or 3 in mind already. So yeah, I'll be talking to them and because they don't know, you know, who it is that I, you know, was going to hook them up with or whatever. So, you know, this will just flow right into that and get them started.
Sure.
A couple of them had the flu and some different things going on, so they missed their appointments to talk to, you know, the people that they needed to talk to. So
See, that was a blessing in disguise.
I hope so.
Yeah,
So yeah,
awesome. Okay, well, thanks for your questions, Melody.
Thank
Good
you.
to have you back engaged with us.
Thanks.
All right, I'm going to ask James to unmute. How are you doing, Mr. Doswell?
Hey, hey, everybody. How
Hey,
are we?
hey, let me hear that laugh, man.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, quick question. Is there a list of the docs that need to be gathered? Is there a list somewhere? And who has it?
No, there's not one. I don't know that there will be one, but they'll provide us what they need us to do.
Okay, so
I personally don't like getting that deep in the weeds with someone when, you know, you got all this tax code and everything over here. Sometimes when you present someone with that type of information up front, it may freeze them and prevent them from moving forward. So I'd really rather move them through the application, through the website, and once they get here, then let the CPAs tell them. But David did reference today that we're going to need the 941 form or 940. Which is their
941.
employee report.
Yeah, yeah, the form
Yeah.
941. Yeah, I was just curious, you know, how to address that because on that one image on the page itself, about 2 o'clock on that circle, it's got the dots, and many times David has said, you know, help them get the documents, help them get the documents, help them get the documents. So I'm just wondering if we, you know, have somebody that we're speaking with, and you know, we just kind of casually throw that out there, you know, get all your documents together and then, you know, proceed through the process. If they go, well, you know, what documents do you need? Okay, how would you address that?
Yeah, now that's a good point, referencing back to the website. And I'm sure that when they cover the training, they will go through the documents that are needed, because you're right. Good point. If they've got to upload a few documents, it helps for us to know what those documents are that they need to upload. So yeah,
Okay.
and yep.
Okay, so I guess as a rule of thumb, generally, whatever the documents are, who has those? The owner or whoever's handling their payroll?
Probably either the owner, if they've got their tax records, or their bookkeeper or accountant, or could be a payroll company, depending on the size of the company. I know today when I talked to my friend that had one employee, he said his wife does it, and I started laughing, and he said, but I'll check it out. And I said, okay, should I send you or your wife this link to the website? And he said, you can go ahead and send it to her, because she's going to be the one that takes care of it. So yeah, you know,
Okay.
it depends on the relationship as to who's actually going to be doing that.
Okay, okay, now another question comes to mind. Okay, we're talking to the person, you know, and we're saying, you know, documents, this and that. And he said, okay, well, my bookkeeper, you know, would have all that. Okay, so this person contacts the bookkeeper. The bookkeeper doesn't have a clue. Okay, so now we're back to where we were before. The bookkeeper doesn't know, the business owner doesn't know, and they're probably contacting us again. So, you know, it just kind of rolls, is the reason I'm asking a series of questions. But I'm thinking whenever the training is going to be, I got a good handle. Okay, David already posted in the group that whole list of questions. He's already posted the answers there, so maybe somebody want to run over there and get them and read them, because the maximum number 500 and this and that is in those answers that's in the media section of the Facebook group right now.
Okay.
And you want to do the QR code or not?
Let's take a look. I'm going to go over here to the agent group. Thanks for pointing that out, James.
Yeah, it's in the media section, probably 2 or 3 in.
Got it.
The second one in, I think.
I'm going to close some windows so my computer will move a little faster. Yeah, there we go. Coming up. Unanswered ERC questions from today's Zoom. Great. Let's see, that's one document only?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, good plan. Let's go through that real quick. Get back to that link. Yeah, and I just saw a question pop up in the chat here. We'll go back through that in a minute. Okay, so screen share. All right, this is from the agent, the DAC agent group on Facebook. Questions that were asked. You can get a credit on part-time employees. Yay, that's great. Is there a maximum number of employees? Yes, the qualifier for this is based on full-time employees in 2019. That is defined as average headcount with over 30 hours per payroll for the year. To earn a 2020 credit, they cannot have more than 100 full-time employees as an average in 2019. To earn a 2021 credit, they cannot have more than 500 employees as an average in 2019. So the max is 500 employees. Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands businesses owners are eligible to. Yes, anyone who paid W-2 wages and filed a 941 tax form is eligible to receive the credit. This is different than our funding, guys. Our funding, our traditional funding platform offering working capital and line of credit, that is only available in the 50 U.S. states, but the ERC program is available in Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands. All right, part-time employees, yes, all employees that were paid regardless of hours worked will go into the calculation for the credit. Spanish-speaking support at ERC and any other languages, question mark. Yes, we have Spanish available. Support staff and also client agreements if needed for signature. No other language specific for agreements or support staff, but we're willing to add them if there's a high enough need. So if you guys have communities that you want to tap into that speak other than English or Spanish and you can drive that demand, sounds like they are willing to put the staff together. Date of cutoff to apply for credit. The deadline for 2020 quarter is April 15th, 2024. Deadline for 2021 is April 15th, 2025. So we've got a 2.5-year window on this, right? But we don't want to be dragging our feet because as time goes by, more and more people will hear about this because of independent agents like us getting out into the community talking about it. Are there income tax issues for them later? Do they amend their past taxes to include this credit coming back to them? Generally, no income tax issues, but yes, they do amend their tax returns for each respective year. Typically, businesses wait until they receive the refunds in hand before amending. There should not be income tax issues, but all tax returns have the potential to be reviewed by the IRS 3 years after filing. Number 7, what if a business closed down already? Can they get a credit if they were open and eligible in the past? Yes, any wages that were paid during that period that they qualify for are eligible for the credit, regardless if they are still in business. The check will be sent in the business name. How they cash it is up to them. I know I personally, after I closed my business and had paid off everything that I owed, I closed my business account. So that may be an issue for them, or may have to reopen an account to get it cashed. And then nonprofits are okay as long as they had W-2s, correct? Nonprofits are 100% good to go as long as there were W-2 wages. We've helped a lot of churches get this credit for that reason. Okay, so that page is there. I just wanted to read through that in case you were listening today. Thank you, James, for pointing that out. But again, where we found this is in the DAC Agent Resource Center. I'll close that window so you can see it. If you go to the Agent Resource Center and click on the media section here, and then if you look under the media, this is one of the images, and this is
Ellen,
No, that's the
that is
Facebook
not
group.
the resource center. That's the
That's
Facebook.
the Facebook.
yeah, the DAC Agent group on Facebook. Sorry, thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, and if somebody is not a member of the DAC Agents Facebook page, when you go in there, you're going to need the name of your sponsor and your agent ID number in order to get approved. You do have to answer those questions when you go to apply.
Okay,
Awesome.
Ellen, you got the image up? Oh,
I
we
did.
should have done the QR code right while you had that image right there. If you still want to do that.
Okay, and what QR code are you referencing?
Okay,
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, James.
the one for the email signatures. If you think it's okay. If you don't, don't sweat it. It's okay. We don't have to do it.
Yeah, we've gone long tonight.
Okay.
Let's do it another night, okay? Because we're an hour and 40 minutes in right now, and I'm sure that'll create questions.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Happy Monday, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, James. All right, I'm gonna stop share and go to our next question, which is Valerie McQueen.
Evening, everyone.
Hey, Valerie.
So I basically only have one question now, because one of my questions was if the company was out of business, if they could still apply, which was just answered, which is awesome. So if I don't have any fundings or customers, can I market this program?
Absolutely.
I can.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you always get paid on your own clients. Whether you have clients or not dictates whether you're eligible to earn on a team or whether you're eligible to earn on extra bonuses as you move through the compensation plan. But yeah, you're good to go. In
Okay.
fact, that's what you want to do. You want to get started with this, and then that gets you qualified for higher commissions.
Awesome. Those are my questions. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question. I'm sure someone else was thinking that as well. All right. And we have Minister Ron. How are you tonight?
Good evening. Fantastic. I'm great. Very much excited. I just want to echo a couple of things real quickly. One, thank you and Harlequin for the job you're doing as a new agent coming on board. Man, you're helping me a lot. Background in the area, however, some of the nuances as it relates to DAC, you're helping me with a lot to get through the transition. One quick statement. Any business who has filed their taxes, their accountants or whoever has filed it has those forms. If they don't, then she gets another accountant or somebody. Those forms are right there, easily available to the business owner, whether it's in his office or accountant or whoever does their taxes. Easy to get. It's not a hard thing. My question is not on this, but more operational. One, I've got a new recruit, new downline, new team member. He submitted his app in his name as opposed to his business name. He has an LLC. So when I saw this, I said, why did you do it on the LLC? How do I change that? How can he change that?
Okay, when you say he submitted his app, you mean he signed up as an agent?
As an agent, yes.
Yeah, it's real simple. All he needs to do is email support@davidallencapital.com with his agent ID number and with his intent. Say, hey, I meant to sign up through my business entity. Here's the business name that I would like for it to be in. And then they're going to ask for supporting documentation, whether it be his federal ID number from the IRS or his articles of incorporation. They'll let him know what they need, but just that's all he needs to do, and they'll switch it over for him. Now, caveat there is, do you know if he's already set up his Relevate account or not?
No, I don't think so. We talked
Okay,
earlier today.
tell
I
him to
don't
hold
think-
off on Relevate until he gets the name situated, because the name that his business is in and the checking account with Relevate needs to match.
Okay,
So get that done before he sets up the account.
fantastic. Second question relative to either LLC or line of credit or funding. Have a client, he has two LLCs. Okay, two separate businesses he wants to go after funding for. Is that possible? Is that acceptable?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
do both of those qualify each in their own right?
This is for, both of them have separate EINs. They're separately incorporated as LLC. So he's interested in funding for both of them.
Yeah, sure. He can, however many, it doesn't matter. The same owner can own multiple businesses and apply for funding for each of the businesses, as long as each of the businesses meets the minimum revenue requirements to apply.
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. I am very, very excited about this opportunity and looking for my name and to be up on the board every week.
Excellent. Well, thank you. And thank you for your kind words. Appreciation towards myself and Harlequin. Thank you. All right. And we have Shelton. What did we miss? Uh-oh, asked to unmute. Hang on, you're muted. There
Okay.
we go.
All right. Real quick, because somebody asked about helping the customers, the clients know what paperwork. David did say in this morning's meeting that in the training, all that is going to be told to us. We will. He did specifically say that. And I also forgot to mention, because you were talking about people charging like retainer fees, 2,500 and whatnot. If you look on Craigslist right now, it's blowing up with a ton of them like doing that, where it's 2,500 retainer, or they say free to qualify, but they don't say anything else. So you know there's a punchline in the background of there's going to be a fee. So but I just wanted to really comment on that, the training stuff, which he said would be later sometime this week. He just doesn't know when.
Absolutely. Yep. Thanks. Good stuff. Okay. And I'm going to ask Ray to unmute.
Hi, Ellen. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I was looking at the DAC, the ERC questions that you said that is in the Facebook group. Will that be available in the resource center eventually, or no?
Probably. He's using the Facebook group to upload things and share immediately, but usually all of those resources get added to the Agent Resource Center. We can request that for sure.
Okay. All right. That's all I want to know. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks for the question. Good point. All right. And we have Janet with a hand up. Hey, Janet, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm sitting here making a list off my contact list on my phone. But being in the animal world, I wanted to remind everybody, veterinarians and doggy daycare type places, all those places were devastated during COVID because people weren't traveling. And the veterinarians, they suffered big time with staff. And it's like when you took your dog to the vet, you had to be outside, call them, and they'd come out and get the dog, and you had to sit in the car. And so like people weren't taking their dogs to the vet unless they absolutely had to, and that type of thing. So any kind of veterinarians, doggy daycares, most pet sitters who have, professional pet sitters that had employees that were probably 1099, so they probably wouldn't qualify. But how would you add, like the Chamber of Commerce, my Chamber of Commerce is a nonprofit and they have staff, but they're not government. So like, how would you approach them?
Yeah, I mean, you've got a relationship with them. What I would do is I would talk to them about this new service that you're offering, and you want to make sure that they're aware of it and say, by the way, nonprofits can qualify for this as well. Did you guys happen to get the credit? That's all I would say. because I've already got a list of folks from my chamber, and I'm going in tomorrow to meet with a couple of folks there in the chamber office so that they have a good understanding of the program itself. So when they're talking to businesses that are struggling or whatever, I'm getting a lot of referrals from my chamber. So I've got a great relationship with the officers there, and I know you do too, Janet, because you're very
Yeah.
active. But that would be
Yeah.
my approach.
But I'm saying the chamber itself.
Right, yeah, but if you're
Yeah.
talking to the officers of the chamber, like the chamber president, they have an accountant that's doing all of their bookkeeping for them.
Right.
So talk to your chamber president, let them know that you've launched, that your company has launched this, and you want to get the word out to everyone. You want to make sure that they understand what it is in case someone has questions, or they hear someone talking about needing money, that this might be a good fit for them, and say, oh, by the way, did the chamber apply for this employee retention credit? You guys do have employees, and you guys might qualify. Did y'all get qualified and get that credit back? That'd be all I would have to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for the question. Good thought process there on the veterinarian clinics. All right, and I've got James back up. What you got, James?
Hey, I just wanted to say to Ray, you can screenshot that form off of the replay until they put it up in the Agent Resource Center if you need it right away. That's it.
Awesome. Good plan. Okay, I don't have any other hands raised right now. Harlequin, are there things in the chat box that we need to address?
Yeah, there was somebody asking if you can send them that clip of David, because they were like, I don't know how to do a clip. I'm trying to get to who it is.
I'm going to send it out in the email tonight, actually. I'll send that link out with the email. So if you're on my team emails, you'll receive that this evening.
Okay. There have been a ton of questions. I think I've answered all of them. If I didn't, if you can retype it. But yeah, we had a bunch of questions tonight.
Hey, I see Tony Breland on here tonight. Hey, Tony, how are you doing?
Great, thank you. I really enjoyed this and will start visiting you more often.
Well, thank you. And I know you've been so kind to put information out in the longevity group about what everybody is doing at DAC and keeping the word out there. So thank you for all you're doing there.
Okay. You're welcome. Yeah, I plan on doing that very thing with this information.
Great. Well, glad to have you joining us tonight.
Yeah. And I got another one, and to confirm for my twin, spouses, the employer or the owner himself, their children, their siblings, and their parents are not eligible to be counted as employees.
Spouse, there's 4 things then. I wrote down the 3. Spouse.
You forgot siblings.
Parents and children. Got it. Okay.
So your immediate family members.
Yeah. But your
the ones that you lived with, most likely.
Do what?
The ones that you lived with. You don't always live with your grandparents or your nieces and nephews and cousins, although
Sure.
sometimes you do, but yeah. And then Minister Ron is asking about the ERC PowerPoint presentation. Was David going to release that, or did he give you an advance copy of that one?
No, I put everything together myself that I did tonight. He is working on a new presentation for an opportunity overview. So we'll see some new materials coming out over the next couple of days. Just so you know, after our Zoom today, one of my questions was how soon we would be doing a new business presentation, because I'm eager to get that conversation started on our agent recruiting site. I sent David a text after we finished up and I said, hey, any possibility you might record a new 3-minute teaser video for that first partner page video that would include conversation about the ERC. So I think he's going to get that up in the near future so that we at least have that leading into the opportunity so people know that that's included in what we're doing.
Okay.
All right.
I
Anybody
think
else?
I got most of it.
All right. Well, you guys have been packed full of information tonight. This is, again, such an exciting time and a game changer for business owners, but a game changer for DAC agents. If you'll take action and get out there and start having conversations with people. We're not selling anything. We're just simply informing them. Same that we always teach. You know, we're informing them about the services that we offer, but now it's really up to you to educate them about a program that they're probably not aware of, and let the word spread that there's a lot of money on the table that could help business owners through your efforts and our connection with a licensed CPA firm that's nationwide. All right, guys. Well, no more questions, no more hands up. I'm going to go ahead and get us off here for the evening. We have been online now almost 2 hours. So great call. Appreciate everybody's input, all your questions. And I look forward to seeing many of you having success with this. Again, we're going to have a Millionaires Club and it's going to start with this team. All right. Looking forward to seeing how many of you are going to be in the club with me. All right, everybody, have a great night. We'll see you soon on the next Zoom. Take care.
Bye for now.